Alright, let's draw a rose. I'm actually going to try to draw 4 different roses here. Obviously, start with the sketch as always. This is our first rose where it's very tight, just doing the basic shape, doing that little swirl at the top and a couple petals that'll be tight to the rose. This is our tight formation rose, and at the bottom they have the little green part of the rose that would also be tight in there. And you can add, well, that's good for the shape for now, but we'll go to the next one. Now the rose is going to be starting to open up. So shape would be more like that on this rose. And then opening up even more on this one. So that's kind of the shape there. Same with this one. And then our final rose will be fully bloomed. The fully bloomed rose. So it'll be much wider and just getting the basic shapes for these little flower things, or the little, I don't know what those green things at the bottom of the rose are called, but those little pieces, we'll show those they'll have to start breaking open as well. So on this one they'll be up like this, but then they'll start coming down a little bit. Same for these ones, they start coming off like this. And this one they'll be fully, I'd say fully out, so this one will come up a little bit and then down when it's pointing at you. The perspective would push it down, so like that. And then our final one, they'd pretty much all be just going something like this, almost like they're completely away from the flower, something like that. And then for the petals, we'd start to have this one starting to open up that way. This one would be going out this way. And another one would start to open up here. And basically the rose petals are a bunch of concentric circles overlapping. It's just a bunch of petals that overlap each other. So something like that. Whereas in the first one, you could have just a slight over, like where they're just barely starting to open up, like that. Same with this one. It's just hugging close. And then you can get as detailed as you want. I'm just going to do a little semicircle, like a swirl for the center of these, just for time's sake. But otherwise, you could draw individual petals in there and do that too. Same thing with this one. I'm just going to keep the semicircle pattern going in all of them, because as more petals open up, there's always more compacted in the center, so there'll always be that little semicircle, I believe, or however you want to do it. That's what I'm going to put in here. So this one, these petals are starting to open up, so then some more petals will start getting revealed. So they'll come across like that, and always overlapping. I'm not sure there, but that looks fine. And then this one, now these petals will really start to fly out. On this side too, this will really start to fly out. These petals will. We'll have to bring some more petals in. And another petal here opening up. And another one there. And one over here. And when they go around, I just draw like a little curved line, short curved line that kind of goes like that, and then you can draw the petal right off of it, kind of opening up. And then basically you just keep doing that, overlaying these petals until it kind of comes like into a semicircle or a swirl. So basically you can just follow that swirling pattern and then draw petals off the swirl. So let's say on this last one I'm just going to draw a swirl and come out there like this, just to make this a little easier. There, so I have this swirl, so now I'm going to, off that swirl, I'm just going to make petals. And they're going to overlap. So this is the outside-most petal, this first one I'm doing. And then I'll just, so this will always overlap. So then the next one, we'll draw one here. And then this petal. So this petal here will overlap with this one. We'll bring that one down. Now the next one will be over here, but you want to make sure that this last one you drew is now overlapping this one. And then continue that all the way around the circle. So now the next one will be out here. So we'll draw that one. Kind of, if it's back behind the flower, so it'll be hard to see. So that one's overlapping. So the next one we would see would be way over here, and this was the line comes underneath here, right here. So we'll draw that one in. Kind of like that. And it comes in. And then the next one here. And then the next one here. It would be overlapping there. And all of them are just overlapping petals. Until you get into this tight swirl in the center. And we can try to clean up some of these other ones. So this one there, petal there. Can't really tell what's going on in here. I mean, that's pretty decent for our sketches. It's possible that this last one should be wider. Kind of like that. It almost looks like a carnation, but there. Now we will switch over to the marker tool, or I'll switch over to the marker tool. Just following our sketch lines. Not exact, mind you, but close. There's our rose that is tight. It's not perfect, but for the sake of brevity, I'm trying to do them kind of quick here. And there's this one. And this one, the petals are opening up more. And draw one there. There. So that rose is a little more open. Now our next one. And this one, these little leaves off the rose are now really starting to fall down. I might have drew the stem a little thick on these first two. This one looks a little more appropriate. And that's part of the drawing process, getting better as you go along. So we have the overlapping rose petals. There we go. And now as you get in here, there. That's okay. And you don't have to worry too much about drawing a rose exact because there's no two roses that look exactly the same. So now our last rose. Now these little leaves at the bottom would be completely down at this point. And our stem, try to keep it a little thin. And then these petals. Completely down on the ends. Right there, I suppose. And same coming out this way. Just making more and more layers with these, with the lines. And this one. here. Let's keep going. I'll just keep the trend going with the center here. You don't have to draw the swirl in the center, but I'll just keep doing that for the sake of this, and then okay, that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you get the general idea, and you can spend more time on your rows if you'd like. This is just simply all I have time for at the moment. So, and these roses can be different shapes and sizes. I mean, there is no two roses the same. So now we got all of our roses, that part done. So then you erase all your sketch marks. I'd normally switch over to my eraser tool and do the erase, but for this brevity, I'm just going to take them away like that. And now you can color your roses. You can use crayons or colored pencils, markers, whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to get a deep red color. And put some, that's almost orange. We don't want that. Let's go a little deeper red. Nice bright red. There we go. I'm going to switch over to green for a moment and just do the green part first. Nice dark green. There. Just do that in real quick. There we go. La la la. Just coloring the stem of the rose. And those little green leaves. Now I'll switch back over to red. Nice bright deep red. There, that looks good. Color in the rose. And I'm just going to splash some color on this fairly quickly. The best way to learn how to draw these things, and pretty much everything, is to actually look at the real thing, study its structure, and then go from there. And that's one thing these roses have, just lots of petals overlapping each other, kind of a swirling pattern. So just used that general rule that I seen and tried to apply it in the drawing. And just for the fun, I'm gonna get even a darker, deeper red and do some slight shading on the roses, just for fun. Just give them a little more life to them. There. Some different shades in there. Make them kind of pop a little bit. Oops, getting big. Make them pop in a little different spots. there. Some dark spots inside the crevices of these roses. Making those petals, deep in those petals there. There we go. And our last one. Just lots of petals. There we go. This gives your drawing some more definition. And if you wanted to, you could do some bright highlights. And I mean, you could have drawn the original sketch in red, and then had the lines. You know, almost had like these ink lines aren't even showing. There's a lot you can do from here, but this is the basics. And I'll try to do maybe a highlight, a reddish highlight, and just see if I can get any more little. Well, that's good enough there, I suppose. Alright, well, thanks for watching.